Abbey London, as I call it, because it's one of the great central focuses of control, not only through finance either, is a reptilian holding the red cross and the white background of the Knights Templar, one of the major secret societies in this network. One of the key points in London, for this conspiracy anyway, where the City of London meets Temple, or Temple Bar, or the Temple region, which is the legal profession and courts, is this flying reptile on a pedestal right in the middle of the road. They put these things everywhere. Now, there's another common theme, this is all over the world, of reptilian-type entities eating humans. There's so many of them, it's unbelievable. This is Central American, as the previous one was. Here's some more, and often they'll put a crown on the top, because this is the royal bloodline. This is where the divine right to rule comes from, or the idea of it. It's the belief that you have the right to rule because of your genetic descendants from these gods, the divine right to rule. There again, a similar one. Here's other ones, and logos and coats of arms and what have you. And there's Alfa Romeo, the same, and of course the red cross and the white background of the Knights Templar. You see this reptilian theme coming up a lot in entertainment, because these bloodlines and their networks control Hollywood, and they control the entertainment industry in general. This is an advert, a Nike advert, where this American footballer was depicted as reptilian, and the theme of it was, because of that, he was better than anybody else. And at the end of the Thriller video, when Michael Jackson turned round, they were reptilian eyes. They could have been lots of different eyes, but they were reptilian. And this happens because of what I said earlier. All these different things are worshipping the same basic force, and thus this symbolism of this force appears in all these different areas, not just these, also banking and politics and stuff. Now, a lot of these bloodlines are Satanists. In fact, the major ones are all Satanists. And by that I mean they are into human sacrifice, human blood drinking, and all that other stuff, sacrifice of children. And it's been going on way back. And people have no problem with the fact that it was going, oh yeah, those ancients used to do that, and the Aztecs and all that stuff. But they can't expand that perception of the possible that it's still going on. It is massively going on. The fact is it was openly going on then it became unacceptable to the population in general, and it's gone on secretly ever since. And what I've talked to a lot of Satanists, former Satanists, and I guess former Satanists, who've told me common themes about what goes on in these rituals. And, you know, these entities are feeding off human energy. And one of the things that they do is when they're sacrificing somebody, the people with invisible light, the Satanists and the bloodlines, they'll drink the blood, because when the terror reaches a certain point in the ritual, a certain adrenaline goes in the blood, which gives these people a high. I mean, sick is not the word. But on another level, an energetic level, the entities are feeding off the energy coming off of terror and fear of the sacrifice. And the other thing that they tell me happens in these rituals is they create an energetic environment, like a stepping stone energy environment, where these entities can come through and manifest, not for long, but for a while. Common themes. Now, this is David Berkowitz. He went to jail for the Son of Sam serial killings in New York. And after he was jailed, he said, he corresponded with a Christian minister, and he said, yeah, I did it, but I did it as part of a satanic coven, a satanic cult that arranged it all for me, and I was just the guy who did it. And he said at one point in this correspondence, Satanists are peculiar people. They aren't ignorant peasants or semi-literate natives. Rather, their ranks are filled with doctors, lawyers, businessmen, and basically highly responsible citizens. They are not a careless group or are apt to make mistakes, but they are secretive and bonded together by a common need and desire to mete out havoc on society. It was Aleister Crowley who said, I want blasphemy, murder, rape, revolution, anything bad. What does that do? It pulls that energy that they feed off, but it also pulls people into low vibrational states of awareness. And the two major colors of Satanism, for frequency reasons, are black. Black is the absence of light and absorbs light in all frequencies, and red, which is the lowest, longest frequency color. And there you see red and black dominating royal protocol, along with gold, which is another color they use, Satanists, in this ritual that goes on. And I saw this. I had to go back to the original BBC coverage and watch the video to make sure this wasn't a Photoshop job, and it wasn't. This is at the royal wedding with William, and there's a satanic symbol on the back of this bloody clergyman meeting the Queen, reverse pentagram. I mean, it's bloody ridiculous, but it's not when you realize that the religions are just public expressions of a much deeper and more horrific inner core. I mean, look at Christianity. Its very focus of attention is someone being tortured. What are you doing? A focus on that. And that, for reasons I'll come to, has an effect on people and the wider reality. And you have the Eucharist in the Roman Church. And what are they doing? They're eating the flesh and drinking the blood. That's just a publicly acceptable version of what goes on the inside, literally. I mean, what is it when you reduce your deity to the level of a biscuit? I mean, is it me? I mean, if you're going to do that, I'll at least make it a bloody hobnob. That's what I say. Because they're good for dipping. There you go, he's getting into the spirit of it now, look. You know it makes sense. So, this is the key to understand so much. Also, politics, banking, media ownership and stuff, in the end, worships that. This is a quote from a Swiss banker in the Russian magazine Novy Den in 2011. These people are corrupt, talking of the bankers. Sick in their minds, so sick they're full of vices, and those vices are kept under wraps on their orders. Many are into Satanism. When you go into some banks, you see these Satanistic symbols, like in the Rothschild Bank in Zurich. These people are controlled by blackmail because of the weaknesses they have. They have to follow orders or they will be exposed, they will be destroyed, even killed. This pervades society. What do you see from the banking industry? Total lack of empathy with the victims of their actions. And so, when I've, over the years, investigated and followed through major people involved in pushing the direction of the world, I have found three absolutely repeating themes with them. One, secret societies. Two, Satanism. Three, very topical at the moment, paedophilia. And they connect together in reasons I'll come to. Now, this is Bohemian Grove in Northern California, where the high and mighty elite in politics, banking and business and all the rest of it in America and wider afield go to this summer camp at Bohemian Grove in Northern California, and they worship under a 40-foot stone owl, symbolic of an ancient deity called Moloch. And they do sacrifices and stuff in smaller areas in this great area of Bohemian Grove, 2,700 acres of redwood forest. And all these people like the Bushes and the Clinton and the Rockefellers and all this Kissinger and all these people go along, and people come from abroad as well. And we're seeing Satanism more and more pushed and infiltrated into human society to become more and more acceptable. This Lady Bloody Gaga, crikey, her mother must have been psychic, pushing the old, Satanism, blood stuff. And, I'm not saying, Annie Lennox is into all this stuff, but what I'm saying is that the ceremonies of at the Olympics, the opening and closing ceremonies and stuff, was, if you know what you're looking for, was incredibly satanic in its symbolism, some of which I'll get to. Then you've got this Twilight series. Let's make vampires kind of sexy now. Then you have the Harry Potter thing. I mean, one of the Harry Potter books was called The Half-Blood Prince. Spot on, that's what it's about. And Slytherin House and all this stuff. And all this esoteric occult stuff going into the young mind on a massive level. This is all done on purpose. And what are we coming up to it now? Halloween, when I was a kid, just passed you by. Now it's this great festival where they're bringing kids into it. Oh, it's Halloween, trick and treat, all that stuff. And they're making it a kind of mini bloody Christmas. And it's pulling people in. If people only realized that at this time, particularly, And at Beltane, across May the 1st, staggering numbers of children on this planet are being sacrificed by these people and others around the world. That's the real meaning of Halloween and Beltane, not trick or treat. And this whole energy stuff very much connects into Satanism. Because, as I mentioned, these entities outside of human sight, they feed off human energy. It's one of their power sources. But it's a particular human energy. It's a very simple frequency physics situation. If you are within a certain frequency band yourself, you are only going to absorb energy within that frequency band. Anything outside that frequency band is going to go through you like radio stations go through radio stations. Thus, you need to generate energy within a frequency band that you can absorb. What is the frequency band, in human terms, of these entities? Low vibrational human emotion around the basic state of fear. And so they're generating human fear, anxiety, frustration, anger, hatred, all of it, because it's generating the energy that they absorb, their life force in so many ways. In the Matrix, they had the machines symbolically feeding off human energy. That's what these entities do. And thus, if you go back to the Dr. Emoto stuff with the crystals in the water, the crystals with words of love written on the side of the water before they were frozen are beautiful, geometrical, beautiful to the eye. That energy is unabsorbable by these entities. It's on a frequency they simply cannot sync with because of their state of being. This is what they want. They want this energy. And thus they have created and structured human society to become a factory, an engine room, a generator of this energy. A war is a banquet to these people because of all the energy that's created by those doing it, those receiving it, and the impacts on lives as a result of it. And look at the way the human society is devastated in terms of its balance, its harmony, its joy, by reasons for low vibrational, distorted emotional responses. And this is a key reason why humans were manipulated from a heart society to an emotional gut reaction society. Because there, nothing served for dinner, darlings. Here, much as you like. And people think that human energy is not important. There are sensors around the world that are picking up changes in the Earth's energy field. This is what happened on 9/11 as a result of humanity's response to what it was witnessing. And that is the power that collective humanity has on the human energy field. If you can manipulate humans into a negative response, understandably, to things like 9/11, you massively impact on the vibrational energetic state of the Earth's energy field, and it's the energy sea that we are living in all the time. If you want to get to all the fish at the same time, what do? You get to the sea, and then you get all the fish. And the energy sea that we are living in all the time is what they're targeting all the time. And so when we react to their heartless corruption and oppression in this way, going to get into this seriously in the last part today, then we are actually giving them what they want. Because we are reacting in ways that are generating more of the energy on which they feed. This is a Native American, American concept story. That in each of us there are two wolves they talk about. One wolf is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. The other wolf is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. Which wolf wins? the Native Americans say, the one